Sup, Nerdmigos, and the Jive Talking Nerd John Norgrove, and this is Nerd Jive. So first up today, Ready Player One trailer. So over the weekend, Warner Brothers dropped the Ready Player One trailer, and it looks so goddamn good. It's directed by Steven Spielberg and is starring Ty Sheridan as our protagonist, Wade Watts. Wade Watts. So Ready Player One is an adaptation based on Ernest Cline's best-selling novel of the same name. I read, or more accurately, listened to the book about a year ago. I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago, like when it first came out. And just fell in love with the references and just the whole cyberverse thing and the adventures and troubles of the young Watts. It just an absolutely fascinating book. The version that I listened to was brought to me by Audible. So it was read by Will Wheaton, which was fantastic. Will Wheaton absolutely killed it. And if you haven't read or listened to the book, I highly recommend you do, especially the Audible version by Will Wheaton. It was just absolutely fantastic. I recommend you listen to the book before you watch the movie. I hope the movie's going to be good, but I really think that Will Wheaton did a killer job, and Ernest Cline's book is absolutely fantastic, and it's worth your endeavor. So definitely keep an eye out for it. Listen to it, read it like in paper version, but like get that done before you do that. But either way, the trailer will be linked below. Watch the trailer, let me know what you think. So next up is it's Trump news, but it's not bad Trump news or good Trump news. It's really not important Trump news is the more important part. But okay, so Trump is signing, or did sign, a directive that orders NASA to send people back to the moon. All right, so President Trump signed Space Policy Directive 1 at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, which happens to be on the 45th anniversary of the Apollo 17 mission, the last crewed mission to the moon. This directive will order NASA to lead a, quote, innovative space exploration program to send astronauts back to the lunar surface, as well as eventually onward towards the moon, or towards Mars, excuse me. So regardless of the politics, this is actually really, really good news. We need to push ourselves further into space. We need to push ourselves towards the moon and lunar bases and Mars and Martian bases. I mean, we think about it so little, but things that we take for granted were part of the space race. I mean, Jesus Christ, Velcro. Velcro's a good example of that. And that shit's everywhere. You don't even think fucking Velcro's a brand name. I mean, I don't even know what is it called? Hook and loop fastener material or some bullshit? Like, that's super important to your life. And that only exists because of NASA. You know, so the space race is super important. And more than that, becoming a multi-planet species is incredibly important in order for our species to survive. It's that whole all your eggs in one basket thing that people always talk about. But it's important that we're not just here. It's important that we go to other places. We explore things and we learn. Every day that we're not exploring and we're learning, we're wasting time as a species. People need to learn. We need to explore. We need to adventure. And yes, at the same time, being a multiplanetary species will mean that if something catastrophic happens, we have backup humans. I know that's dark, but it's kind of important when it comes to this sort of stuff. So, I mean, you know, fuck all the politics of it, but good job, Trump. I mean, if this directive, Space Policy Directive 1, and if some sort of budgetary incrementation or inclination or bloody whatever helps NASA send people to the moon, then good. That's what we need. At the same time, you see SpaceX is making moves, but who else is making moves? Jeff Bezos and Blue Origins isn't doing dick right now. NASA's not doing dick right now. I mean, they're doing little stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to put people under the bus, but we need competition. We need that space race, right? Let's take space back, you know, or fucking whatever. So yeah, 100%. I'm completely in support of this move. Good job, Trump. Shockingly. So next up is FCC news, and I need a drink. So I really fucking do not want to talk about the FCC, right? It's just, it fills me with fucking hate. All right. So the pioneers of the pioneers of net neutrality. That's like a bloody thing. The website's linked below you. It's pioneers at net neutrality, like .com or some bullshit like that. But the pioneers of net neutrality, which are starring the likes of Steve Wozniak and Tim Berners-Lee and Vinton Cerf, sent a letter to the FCC essentially stating you don't understand how the internet works. All right. So in this letter, they call for the FCC to cancel the December 14th vote to repeal net neutrality. The basis of this request is that, and I quote, the FCC's proposed order is based on a flawed and factually inaccurate understanding of the internet technology. So, yeah. It's essentially a 43-page letter that puts Ajit Pai on blast, straight burn style, which needs to fucking happen. Clearly, he doesn't understand how the FCC works, or how free market economies work, or how big business works in this country right now. Again, and I'm going to say this a second time, or how the fucking internet works. So he's trying to make it Title I and remove net neutrality. He's a fucking idiot. So, I'm very passionate about this. This doesn't even address, this whole letter doesn't even address the fact that the FCC's comment section has nearly 1 million comments that were fraudulently made, all right, or fraudulently filed, excuse me, as well as 500,000 comments that were filed under Russian email addresses, which is a huge fucking deal, right? So all of this comes on the back of what the letter does talk about, all right, which is that the FCC has yet to address, where is it in my notes? I'm freaking the fuck out right now. So, excuse me. The FCC has yet to address the FOIA request from the Attorney General of New York about the comment section problem on their webpage. So the FCC's like, man, some of the comments are wrong. Fuck them off. Oh, these internet gurus say that we don't understand. Fuck them off. I know how the internet works. Because apparently everybody who works for the FCC is a moron. But still. So I think it's clear that the FCC is obviously corrupt. Ajit Pai's a fucking idiot. Like 100% carte blanche fucking idiot. Alright? And we're fucked because companies can now clearly buy and sell regulatory commissions within the federal government, and nobody seems to be taking this goddamn seriously. And these people are doing a thing, and people are doing a thing, and there's the protests and all this kind of stuff. But what needs to happen is congressional hearings against Ajit Pai and everybody who works for the FCC to make sure that people understand that you cannot fuck with us in this way. All right, because what everybody's not realizing is that this fucking potential pay toll system that will come into place, and listen, I say potential, it will 100% happen if they vote against net neutrality. Just fucking wait, it'll happen. All right. Oh, Comcast said they weren't going to do anything. They're lying to you. Obviously, they're lying to you. They're evil as shit. Like AT&T, evil. Comcast, fucking evil. All right, they're doing this shit on fucking purpose. Ajit Pai believes them. He believes that the free market will fix everything, which is fucking retarded as shit, right? But you see countries that don't have these protections, and it's like, oh, you want to look at Facebook? There's an extra $2.99 to look at Facebook on your internet. If you don't like it, maybe you don't get fucking Facebook. Fuck your face. And this is what we're gonna fucking move to if we don't stop this shit. All right? Like, this is just... It's one of my greatest pet peeves right now because it's really simple, it's really obvious, and people don't care. Our senators don't care, our representatives don't care, our president doesn't care, the regulatory commission that is the FCC doesn't fucking care. And you know who really cares right now? Comcast, and AT&T, and Verizon, and all these other fucking internet conglomerates, alright, who can buy and sell billions of dollars worth of, well, you know what, maybe give me 10%. All right, Netflix can be like, give me 10% above somebody else. Fuck these guys. And then that's what fucking happens. So it's all fucking corrupt bullshit, and this shit just needs to be fucking talked about, right? We talk about it and it's brief, and then you fucking forget about it and you go about your way, and you don't realize that in 3 days you're about ready to lose your right to look at certain web pages because they can't afford to pay for a thing. right? It's going to destroy the little man. It's going to corrupt and destroy startups, and it's going to let big boys get bigger. That's what it is. But fine, let the FCC do what they want. It's whatever. We'll move back to an agrarian society. That worked out well for us. So, last up, and very quickly, is Bitcoin futures news. So, SIBO is launching the first U.S. Bitcoin futures exchange. And it will be shortly followed by NASDAQ in early 2018. So, full disclosure, I have a little invested in Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoin. But this is good news for cryptocurrency. And all of that being said, I don't really know what futures exchange is at all. I have no understanding of what it means, what it does. I don't know what futures exchange is, but it's probably good. So, yeah, zero understanding of what futures exchange actually means, but I imagine it's good for Bitcoin, and I imagine it's good for cryptos in general. Some of the articles I read speak about how futures, buying and selling futures, sort of stabilizes markets. So maybe it'll stabilize Bitcoin, which would be great, because Bitcoin's been all over the fucking place. It's been like $20,000 a bit. It's been like $14,000 a bit. It's all over the goddamn place. In early October, it was like $5,000 a bit. So, or coin. I don't know which words you use to describe those. But still, I don't understand financing or money or any of that kind of stuff. But it's still good. I mean, like, you know, don't ever take advice from some cunt on the internet about money, obviously. And, like, the way that I've always said it is, if you're going to play with an unstable market, or really with any market that isn't just putting your money in a box over here, play with money that you can afford to lose, right? I've got money in Bit and Eth and Light, but I can afford, if all three of those disappear and there's no more money in it, it's no loss to me, right? Because I'm playing with chump change. I'm playing with tiny amounts. That's not important, right? So just be safe out there. Crypto's kind of, I mean, like, it's not new, but it's still new in a sense. So just be safe out there when it comes to the crypto stuff. Really, when it comes to anything financially, but mostly the crypto stuff, because that's all God's damn over the place. I mean, let me see. Let's see what we're going to look it up right now. What is the cost of Bitcoin right now, and then compare it to when you're watching this. So currently a Bitcoin is $16,500 a bit, or a coin, an individual unit of currency. So yeah, if you watch this, look up the price of Bitcoin, comment below, and what you will see is a list of comments of completely different functions and costs. So it's all over the goddamn place. The market's hyper unstable right now. It is what it is. I'm playing the long game. I'm sitting on it. I'm just letting it ride. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, either way, like this video, share this video, comment below. Let me know about that Bitcoin thing. Let me know what you think about Ready Player One. If you've read the book, like, what's up? Maybe I'll do a review jive for Ready Player One. Part of me kind of wants to, after watching that trailer, re-listen to the book and do a review, because I could probably listen to it in like a couple of weeks, or like a week, and do a review drive like next week, or like maybe between Christmas and New Year. So let me know if you think that's a good idea. Share this video on all your stuff. Follow me on Facebook and other social media. I got Instagram and all that shit, Twitter. Like, share that stuff. Let's get that out there. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Yeah. So, like, comment, share, subscribe. I have been John Norgrove. This has been Nerd Jive. And I still have to bloody do the 25 beers of beer miss and drink and whatever normal human crap I'm supposed to do in the evening with people. So, yeah, whatever. Either way, stay nerdy, folks.